Okay, so let's start now the 39th Mamer in Likutei Tora on Shir Hashirim. So the Mamer starts on the Pasuk, Ki al kol kvoid Hupa. Basically, it means for all kavod, there is the level of Chuppah. The Alter Rebbe will explain there is different levels of kavod, of glory of Hashem. There is called the kavod chosen, and there's called the kavod kala. The honor of the chosen, that's the level of milmayla lemata. The chosen is chois targa. That's the perspective of above, that above is the true entity to be mamshich to milmata, to us below. That's called the kavod chosen. The kavod kala is the honor of the kala, which is kala comes from the language of to try to expire. Kola nafshi, kola she'eri ulevavi, a level of milmata l'mayla. For both of these kavods, for the milmata l'mayla is the level of chuppah, the canopy that stands over the chosen and the kala to include them both together. Let's see what it says in the Mamer. Ki al kol kavod chuppah hinei pirush ki al kol kavod. When it says on all kavod, this seems to imply that there is more than one kavod. There is several kavod. On all of the kavod, mashma beis minei kavod, it seems like it appears there's two levels of kavod. What are the two levels of kavod? So first we're going to explain the way it's above, because sometimes we find that God's glory, it says, fills the world. And sometimes we say, where is God's glory? God's glory is far away. But the idea is, once it says, Meloi kol haaretz kivoidoi, that the earth is full with Hashem's glory. That means that the kavod of Hashem is in the world. Ein Zer Chelik Gimel Tzadik Gimel Aleph, and also in Chelik Beis Nun Aleph. Upam Nemar Baruch Kvoid Hashem Im Koime. But other times, at times it says, blessed is God's glory Mim Koimo, in his place, which means he's not in the world. It's in his place, is distant from the world. As we say in the davening, in the Kedusha, we say, Aye Mekoim Kvoid. Where is the place of his glory? So where is Hashem's glory? Is Hashem's glory in the world, or it's somewhere away? Alter Rebbe is going to explain there's two levels of Hashem's glory. There is a level of Hashem's glory, the level of Malchus, which dresses up in Biyah. That's Maloi Kol Aretz Kvoidei. But then we have the level which is higher than Ishtalshlus. That's Ayem Kvoidei. That's B'Kvoidei Shem B'Koim. But in the idea is Ki Maloi Kol Aretz Kvoidei. When we say the earth is filled with Hashem's glory, Hu Bechinas Kavod Tato. That is the lower level of kavod, the lower level of glory, of honor. Shu Bechinas HaMalchus HaMemale Kol Almin. That is the level of Malchus which fills all the worlds. HaMechaye Oilamos Biyah, that vitalizes the worlds of Bria Yetzira Asiyah. That's the level of Malchus. Shehem Muchudoshim Me'ayin Liyesh. They are renewed. They are new entities over here. They have been brought in from ex nihilo, from ayin, from nothing, liyesh, into an entity. Ubaligvul, and they are limited, defined. And they are not compared to the infinite blessed. And therefore, and therefore, that godly power that vitalizes them needs to needs to restrict himself. That light needs to be restricted. A great restriction. That only thing that the flow should be a ray and a shine alone, a general shine, so that there can be a creation of an entity from nothing. The nikra kavod, and that is called kavod, the kavod tator, shurak bechinas oir v'ziv bilvad. That's only in the level of a light and a shine alone. Now we're saying that what creates the world, what dresses up in the world, it's only kavod. Maloi kol haaretz kavod is only the kavod. But the other pasuk says, "Shamayim v'aretz ani molei." Ani means Hashem Himself. Shehu b'chinas atzmusa yizbarich. Ani mamish. Shehu b'chinas atzmusa yizbarich. That's the essence, His blessed essence. So the Rebbe says that pasuk hainu b'chinas helam levad chulu. That's only hidden. But the kavod zeh, this kavod that we're talking now that dresses the world, who are nikra kavod nivra. That's the honor, the glory that is by the created being in their perception, the way they perceive it. Nira shehu mokir biyah v'shorsham shabatzilus. So it appears that that is the root of biyah, the source of biyah, and the root of biyah, the way it's in Atzilus. I said elsewhere, Gabe, when we talk about the cherubs, it says kruv echad mikotze mizeh. So one on this side, that is the root in Atzilus, that's the one cherub, and the other side is the way it comes down in biyah. Bereshis bara likim, v'ayim hashakos u'divra maschel shav soisat yishmeiru be'inyan, ki boi shavas u'komalachta shabar. So that's one level of kavod. Yes, oid kavod beis. There is a second level of kavod. U'b'chinas kavod ilah. That is the upper level of kavod, as opposed to the kavod tata, the lower level of kavod. Malchus, this is kavod ilah, higher level of kavod. V'nikra kavod netzal. The kavod of the netzal is instead of the kavod of nivra, it's the netzal that, like Atzilus, that was separated versus created. V'ayim bepirush haramaz b'bamidbar kuf yudches gabei hareini as kvedacha. V'hainu b'chinas kavod shu b'li gvul. That is a kavod which is limitless. This is higher than the level of a light and a shine, and beyond being able to grasp. And with regards to this, we say, where is the place of His glory, which means it's beyond the comprehension. Well, the idea is, there are two perspectives, two opinions. Sometimes he brings the pasuk in of kikel deis Hashem. Deis a plural. There are two perspectives. Ha'alef, one perspective is shalomatahu hayesh, ulemaylahu ha'ayin. That below is the entity, is the being, and above is ayin, is nothing. Mamer, as the saying goes, me ayin liyesh, from ex nihilo, from nothing into entity. So that above is the ayin, and we're the yesh. What is this second opinion is? Shalemailo hu hayesh, that the Above is the entity. Ulamato ayin, and below is the ayin. So the perspective of above is that above is the entity and below is the ayin. So he says, but really, they're both true. Milmailo lemato, that when you look at it from above, the perspective from above to below, so then lemailo hayesh amiti b'chinas shegvu kol almin, the true entity is above, which is the level that surrounds the world. Ulamata hu ayin, and below is the ayin. Why? Lefishakol ha'oires v'hamshoches lahachis hanivroim, because all the lights and all the extensions that vitalize the created being are only merely a shine. Before Hashem is considered like, before him, like nothing. That's why it's called ayin, because the Eibishter is the true entity. Everything that comes from him is like nothing. That's why it's considered ayin. That's the perspective milmaila lamata. What about umilmata? And from the perspective from below to above, it's just the opposite. Azai lamata hu hayesh. Over here, this is the yesh. Why? Lefi shu b'chinas hasoge kovitato. Because over here, this is a level you can grasp. It's the level of kovitato. That's what we have. We see the glory, we see that ziv, we see that, oh, that's what we can perceive. But above is considered ayin lefi, shulamayla mahasoga is beyond grasping. You can't really grab hold. So from us, we see ourselves, that's what we catch, but above, it's beyond our grasp. But the truth is that he is the true entity. Which is the essence of Hashem, which is limitless. That is called the kavod law. So while they feel themselves, they still recognize that there is the kavod law. This is the idea of the honor of the chos and the honor of the kala. Chosen comes from the language lower the level, which means that's the perspective from above. That is the descent of the light and bringing it down from above to below. Just like water that descends from a high place comes down below. That's called the glory of the chosen, the glory that comes down from above to below. Kalo comes from the language my soul expires. That's from below to above, as the pasuk says, Mili bashamayim. There's nothing in the heavens, which means you yearn for above. My body and my heart expire, or the pasuk of Samo L'cho Nafshi, and Vuketeva Eish Lalis Lamailo L'kolol B'Soida Eish Lamailo. This is like the nature of fire to go up, to be included in the element of fire of above. That's the level of Kalok. Mekain Moker Neshamas Yisrael. Likewise, the source of the Neshamas Yisrael, Shebechinas Malchus da Atzilus, which is the level of Malchus da Atzilus, Tomid hi oila v'nichleles l'maylo, is constantly, Malchus of Atzilus is constantly going up. It's constantly being included above. To Moshe Kosuv, as the pasuk says, l'mayin zamercha chaved v'layidem de parchulu, meaning praise you constantly, which means, as brought down in the Zohar, Kori Todir V'lo Shochichulu, is always calling and never ceases, never stops. It's constantly elevating. Bechinas Tzomelecho Nafshi that is the level of my soul thirsty for nikra, kala, and that's called the kavod of the kala. All right, so let's leave it over here. We're running out of time here.
Okay.